This parsha discusses both shemitah and yovel. There are many of the mitzvahs relevant to both shemitah and yovel. One of them starts the parsha by saying, "You shall count the years of shemitah and yovel." This is a mitzvah. There's a mitzvah to count the years of shemitah. Sefer Chinuch and the Rambam and Sefer Mitzvahs say it is similar to the counting we do by Sfiriyas Omer. Just like by Sfiriyas Omer, we count today is the 8th day, which is 1 week and 1 day. Or the first week we'll count today is the 5th day. We will do the same thing by the shemitah cycle, which would be if it's the 8th year, we would say this is the 8th year of the shemitah of the yovel cycle, which is after one shemitah and 1 year of the second shemitah. Same thing if it was only the 5th year. This is the 5th year of the shemitah cycle. And the mitzvah again is given to the Bezdin HaGadol. It's not on each individual. The Minchas Chinuch wonders, when is this mitzvah supposed to occur? At what point in the year do we count? So he says, just like by Sfiriyas Omer, we count at night, at the beginning of the night. Here too, it should count at the beginning of the year. The Bezdin HaGadol, Rosh Hashanah night, as the year starts, will say, this is year X of the shemitah cycle and the yovel cycle. However, the Minchas Chinuch points out there's a difference between Sfiriyas Omer and shemitah. By Sfiriyas Omer, the reason why we count at the beginning of the night is because there's a special pasuk that says Tamimis. Tamimis means it's supposed to be full type of counting. So you do it as early as night as possible, and you end at the end of the 49 years. We don't do Shavuos early because you want to have as much as possible. There is no word Tamimis by shemitah and yovel psukim. Therefore, he says you should count the beginning of the night, just like by Sfiriyas Omer, but a different reason, not because of the pasuk of Tamimis, but because of his reason. There's his reason that factor to do it right away. Every mitzvah we do right away, therefore do it at night. He says a second nafkamina because there's no Tamimis is going to be very simple. If because of Tamimis on a regular Sfiriyas Omer year, if someone forgets the whole day, the mitzvah still is over now. Because why? The whole day meaning night and day. That's it. The mitzvah is done. He has messed up his tamimis. He could not count 49 days because he missed day X. He says, but since it doesn't say tamimis by the shemitah year, if for some reason by the shemitah counting, if for some reason Bezdin HaGadol did not count throughout the entire year, doesn't make a difference. The mitzvah would be as is the next starting year as it goes. Again, he says at the beginning of the night because of his reason. One question that has to be thought about. In general, we only know that in order to have Kiddush Chodesh, you have to have a Bezdin say the Chodesh is a new month. You have to see new moon, 2 witnesses have to show up and say it's a new month. Now the question is, when does that occur? Bezdin doesn't sit at night. So usually they do it during the day. During the day, the first day of the month, they're going to sit down and say, today is Rosh Chodesh, if they testify, the witnesses, and they believe them. When does it start? It started 16 hours ago at night. But when the night begins, it's not actually for sure yet Rosh Chodesh. Only when the witnesses come the next day and they say, Mekudesh, does it now become retroactively considered the new month? So now the question is like this. In Srira, there's a special concept that in order to have, the Achronim deal with this, in order to have something called accounting, you have to be 100% sure you're counting. There's no Sveika D'Yom by counting. In order to count something, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the concept of a count means you have to be 100% sure it's accounting. So some of the Achronim ask on the Minchas Chinuch, how is it possible to say Rosh Hashanah at night, right away, because the reason you're going to do the counting for the new year, Rosh Hashanah at night, when it first starts, you're not 100% sure it's Rosh Hashanah. We might be noig the mitzvahs of Rosh Hashanah, but until the Bezdin the next morning says Mekudesh, it doesn't and it retroactively counts, but at that moment, it only goes retroactively. So when you're counting at night, the first night of Rosh Hashanah, for the shemitah cycle, can that be considered a real counting? And if not, you shouldn't be able to do it yet. You should wait until the Bezdin makes it Mekudesh.